Hey gamers, with the 18 types we currently have in Pokemon, one of the types that isn't really put in the higher tiers when it comes to how useful they are is the Ice type. And that's fair, because resisting only yourself, being weak to a bunch of common attacking types, and reliably hitting only a few of them back makes it a pretty bad stab option in all fairness. Granted, not a bad offensive option in general, as water types are well known for having ice coverage that helps them significantly. With that though, we don't really have very many ice types. As of Generation 9, there's only like 59 of them in total. And that's kind of unfortunate to me. You would think, with the newer generation games adding a titular icy area, we would have a lot more. In today's video, I'm going to create 3 random ice types using perchance.org, and I will be generating one random animal, a random object, and a random occupation to base the designs off of. Comment down below what your favorite ice type is. I've got to give it to Avalugg personally, it will always be the coolest one. On to the unscripted segment. Okay, I'm going to begin this off by generating a random animal. So hopefully I get something that kind of fits the ice type and it's not absolutely ridiculous. Dog, okay, ice type dog Pokemon. Do we even have one? Do we even have an ice type dog Pokemon? I don't know if we do. Okay, an ice type dog is not a bad shout, even if it is a little basic, but I guess I can take a crack at it right here and now. That being said, I wanted to use a dog that you don't really see in colder areas. Not to critique an obvious design though, because I know Huskies love the snow, and the average HOA representative may be too stupid to truly accept that, so making an ice-type Husky would make sense. But like, I'm sure you've seen that 1,000 times by now. That really goes for many dog breeds though. I'm pretty sure Yokai Watch had an ice-type Chihuahua, which does the concept of an ice elemental creature that doesn't like the cold very well. I really do like Pupsicle and Chihuahua. What about a dog that likes more average, non-extreme climates, living in one of the most extreme climates of all? The Saluki is a neat dog breed like that, and a very unique looking dog that I'm surprised hasn't been used in the franchise yet. I mean, it would probably end up looking too similar to Furfrou in all fairness. Saluki fur is very thin and not very well insulated, and that makes being in snowy areas difficult for them. But what if this Pokemon adapted to grow very thick, fine coats? Okay, the Furfrou comparisons continue. I guess I'm going to start pairing words with Saluki in Google. Oh, they're considered one of the oldest dog breeds. They are also considered a symbol of wealth and nobility. Right, and they're actually fairly rare dogs as well. That being said, maybe this ice-type Saluki can be regal and more powerful than the average Pokemon. They were also prized and cherished by pharaohs, and an ice-type with ancient Egyptian themes, while very creatively liberated and probably a bit silly, would be kind of cool in my opinion. Meet Saloof, the snow dog Pokemon. Saloof are rare Pokemon that live in the Arctic. Their snow-white fur helps them blend into the environment. They don't enjoy company, and can become irritated by those who pursue it. Historically though, these Pokemon are great companions. Upon reaching level 25, Saloof evolves into Isaluki. The fur of Isaluki is soft, but those who pet it for too long lose all feeling in their hands unless heated up. These Pokemon can sleep for days at a time if a blizzard hits their area. The snow for them is like an expensive mattress for humans. Isaluki evolves with friendship, becoming Reluki, the snow ruler Pokemon. The crown and miscolorations of Reluki's fur are made of an unmeltable ice that's imbued with dark energy. Touching this Pokemon can make one's blood freeze solid. Old pieces of art depict Reluki as being companions to history's first rulers. It can manipulate snowfall to form large mounds of compact snow, where it forms its castle-like den. Well, that was cool. I think I'm going to say that after every new Fakemon I create in this video. Alright, we're going to generate a random object now, a random item that I have to turn into an ice type. Let's randomize, man. Come on. Like, come on, man. Man, this is just epic. As funny as it sounds to make a lotion bottle Pokemon, I've been concocting a bit of an idea of how to make this not be totally stupid. After researching lotion for the first time in my 23 years of life, I've learned a couple neat things about it. Primarily, variants that ease pain contain menthol, which is found in mint plants, which grow in cold areas. Maybe this can be an ice type that grinds up the mint leaves into a fine paste, keeping it cold inside of a pouch. Meet Melops, the mint blender Pokemon. Melops dwell boreal forests in search of strong-smelling mint plants. After a long day of collecting leaves, it brings them back to its den, where it smashes them until it has a sharp-smelling liquid with unique healing properties. Despite their unnerving appearance, Melops are philanthropists at heart, and will seek out sick Pokemon to help. After using a Leaf Stone, Melops will evolve into Mentholops, the poultice Pokemon. Mentholops are imposing on the surface, and can wield its giant frozen branch as an effective weapon. However, these Pokemon will only attack if it's in danger. Its pouch contains a steady supply of cold, fragrant ointment that can heal any Pokemon, regardless of their ailment. The fur on this Pokemon's back can grow mint leaves during the coldest part of the winter season. Not only do I really like Cyclopses, but this line is probably one of my favorites to come out of the series so far. I have nothing else to add here. Okay, our final Fakemon of the video, our final ice type of the video, and we are going to be generating a random occupation or job. Sorry, random occupation and job. I do have a job, I don't know why I said it like that. Hopefully we don't get something like transportation equipment painter. That would be a really weird ice type, wouldn't it? Alright, let's... It's like every time I talk, I genuinely don't know if my microphone is picking up the acorns that fucking pop my roof every time I say a word. Every time I say a word and speak a sentence, they just fall and fall and fall. I'm going to need a fucking mental ops here in a minute to heal my wounds after I headbutt the fucking wall so hard that my entire head explodes. Son of a bitch, man. Come on. Let's randomize. Crane operator! Okay, I'm gonna respin. I can't do crane operator. What do you mean this is a job? Blaster is a professional who uses explosives to demolish structures or break up rock and soil for mining. Well then. Okay, so that just happened. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. This is an interesting one. I really didn't want to pass the first prompt, but I just don't have the brain size required to make an Ice-type crane operator Pokemon. A blaster is someone who places explosives in an unlevel area to loosen the land up so it can be leveled and available for infrastructure. And I'm just going to go in a completely different direction with this because I have a vision, and I hate capitalists. The second first thought that comes to mind is something like Splatoon. Maybe an ice type and a fire type have wars with one another. Maybe it has spanned for generations, with ice types trying to spread the snow while fire types want to melt it. The jobs of these Pokemon are to spread their own element. Okay, so this is usually the part where I talk about what the design could be, and I did just a little bit there with the Splatoon reference, but honestly, I want to just move on to the Fakemon I've made. And just a spoiler, approximately half of the new Pokemon in this segment are ice types. The other half, you're just gonna have to wait to see. Meet Decryo and Depyro, the blasting Pokemon. Decryo have a deep-seated hatred for Depyro, and vice versa. Entire groups of these two Pokemon can spend days battling over territory, turning ordinary habitats into war zones just by being present, even with their weak attacks being all that they have. The only thing that stops these altercations are Decryo and Depyro's own exhaustion. These two Pokemon learn a new attack at level 23. Ice Bomb for Decryo and Fire Bomb for Depyro, both having a 30% chance to inflict frostbite or burn respectively, at which point they evolve into Colocryo and Colopyro respectively. After mastering the ability to create explosives from nothing, these two Pokemon spread their conflict further out. Even with a single enemy in mind, the damage they cause is dangerous to everything around them. These Pokemon are very proud, and only take orders from those that it deems better than itself. On that note though, Decryo and Depyro can both evolve into something else completely. Something unique. Upon reaching level 22 in a party full of higher level dark types, Decryo or Depyro evolve into Deficto, the deceptive Pokemon. Deficto are as rare as they are unstable, and are practically never seen. They have been discovered to have the ability to change the weather depending on who they are with. They are never seen on the battlefield when wars between Decryo and Depyro are in session. When they are alone, rain will begin to fall, washing away the snow and fire. Deficto gets a new signature ability, Treason Clouds. If an incoming, separate Pokemon is an Ice type, Deficto summons Hell. If they are Fire type, however, it summons Sun. If neither are present, it summons Rain. And if both are present, it removes all weather, then immediately switches out. Definitely a pretty weird and incredibly situational ability, even with the prevalence of weather. When Deficto is leveled up with High Friendship with a lower level Ice and Fire type in the party, it learns a new signature move, Machiavel. If it's raining, it summons a new screen that halves all incoming damage. It can also not be broken, and it only goes away when it stops raining. However, it's a sound-based screen, so Pokemon that ignore sound can bypass it. And after learning Machiavel, Deficto evolves into Coavide, the corrupting Pokemon. This Pokemon summons an unyielding rain just by being present. Its voice travels where its massive clouds cast its eerie deluge. It never stops raining. Those who listen to its voice begin to feel the hope draining from their body. Coavide has a new signature ability, Augury from Above, summoning a permanent, unchangeable rain when the user is on the field, as well as a sound-based field condition that prevents any attacker from using a super effective attack against any water or dark types on the field. I guess this is the end of Billions Must Hope, right? Wrong. If Colo Cryo is leveled up with High Friendship in a team full of fire types, or Colo Pyro in a team full of ice types, they evolve into Renendion and Renixion respectively, the Revolution Pokemon. After realizing what little Colo Cryo and Colo Pyro had to gain from their incessant fighting, they discovered a newfound power, and their eyes keener to the real evil. These Pokemon valiantly fight for those below them. Renendion and Renixion learn a new signature move, Revolution Dance, boosting the user's speed by 2, as well as summoning snow or sun depending on the user. However, if these two are allies in a double battle and use Revolution Dance in the same turn, they summon a new field condition, Sky of Renewal, removing the rain created by Koavide's Augury from above, and combining the effects of snow and sun, as well as boosting the crit rate of all fighting type attacks. On top of that, Renendion and Renixion have a new signature ability, Valor Resolve, not only granting the user an ability to sound-based moves and effects, but also boosting their special defense and highest attacking stat. In the case of Augury from above, since it's a sound-based field effect, switching into it automatically boosts their stats. Definitely went a little hard on the final segment, not in a, oh this is frickin' epic kind of way, but that's not to disvalue how much I love this new batch of Mons I've created. Really, I just thought it would be a cool way to offer my political opinions. I could sit here and put it more blatantly, but maybe whenever I become a Twitch grifter that weaponizes his own moral compass to get away with being a fucking douchebag. Deuces.